joining us from Starkville, Mississippi. So Haley, as far as the weather is concerned, what's a little different? Do I see a few more clouds now than when we talked last?
You are certainly right. We got the sun to set, and now all the clouds are starting to build in as we see this storm start to arrive. We did have a few sprinkles, and I want to put an emphasis on a few because still a lot of students walking back from classes, lots of cars on the road. So overall, pretty calm conditions here, but that's not going to continue that way as we head throughout the later evening hours.
We have to watch out for it. Hopefully the rain wasn't too much. You were still able to wear that cool Fox weather hat. Hey, when it comes, in all seriousness too, when it comes to the tornado threat that we have in Mississippi, so Starkville, as you talked last hour, a little more densely populated. What are some of the challenges, though, for folks who live in that area, perhaps less populated rural communities, when it comes to this tornado threat? They got to be prepared for a whole evening. It's not just like they can make a decision in about 5 minutes to seek shelter, right?
That is very true, and it's a really good point to make. Being in Starkville, I'm within a 5-minute drive for the community tornado shelter, as well as being on a college campus. The university puts a very high precedent on making sure that the residents and the students have multiple ways to get alerts as severe weather is impending. However, when you get into those rural areas, it could be quite a drive to get to a tornado shelter, anywhere between 10 to even 20 to 30 minutes to find shelter, especially when you get into areas that have more of those mobile homes. So when you get over there, that's when residents really need to start preparing hours in advance, even days, so they know when the storm comes in, they're already in that safe place because they have less of a reaction time as the storms come through.
Let's talk for a minute about those tornado sirens. I mean, we had learned, we spoke to the Office of Emergency Management in Florida. They hold those tornado drills, but they rely on cell phones to send out that emergency alert. What about in Starkville, those tornado sirens? Do you guys have them? And regarding the threat tonight, this is on top of a series of storms and systems that we've seen, so perhaps people are growing a bit weary there too. Can you speak to that?
We definitely do have the tornado sirens here in Starkville. They test them the first Tuesday of every month to make sure that they are in full working order. We just had a test recently since we just started the month of February, so they are working here. Every home in Starkville can hear the tornado sirens, although I will admit some areas have a little bit of a better hearing range than others. But when you get into those smaller rural communities, the tornado sirens just aren't there. And in terms of the severe weather, it almost seems like Mother Nature's picking on the Southeast a little bit here coming into the new year. And we've seen really two personalities start to develop. In terms of the severe weather, you have one side where people think that they're pros. Oh, we got this, you know, we've been through this before, everything's good, they're fine. So they have a little bit more confidence going into severe weather events. But then you also see areas, especially in communities that have been affected by tornadoes, especially in the past few months, they're more weary and they're going into this situation very cautious, ready to go. You can see it on the local news networks as well. They're making sure all the residents are prepared going into this evening.
Especially when these storms happen at night. That's stats have shown, facts have shown us that these evening events, especially when we have tornadoes, are more deadly. Hope you guys stay safe. Mississippi State University multimedia journalist Haley Meyer in Starkville. Thanks for joining us again here on Fox Weather.